Good morning. My name is Marcus Solar. I'm one of the annuity directors here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Wanted to thank you for taking time out this morning to listen in on the webinar. We do have the privilege of having Jake Quagliaroli on the line with us this morning, one of our premier partners with Nasdaq-100. They do bring to the table several different key components when we're talking about income for your clients and accumulation for your clients. Very strong partner when it comes to those types of solutions. We're going to be walking through more of a discussion type arena this morning on how you can help your clients maximize their income during these ever-changing times. We will be covering a lot of information this morning, so if you do get pulled away, I will be recording this webinar this morning. So if you'd like a copy of the webinar at the end, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to get that out to you. For those of you who do have questions as we go, please feel free to put those questions in the box to the right. We will try to answer as many questions as we can as we go along. But again, this is Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We've been in business helping independent advisors and insurance license only agents for over 30 years now, helping you grow your practice with our value adds and helping you help your clients achieve their financial goals during their journey to retirement. So let's go ahead and get started this morning. We do have the Insurance Agency Marketing New Producer Builder. It's a way for us to say thank you and welcome aboard to Insurance Agency Marketing Services. It is good for the first 6 months that you're on board with us. It is tied to fixed index annuity premium and single premium life premium. It is a way for us to help you continue to grow your business by either helping you out with keeping your pipeline full with 1,500 piece postcard mailing, or $750 in cash back at the $100,000 paid level, or all the way up to the $1 million paid level with 8 preset pre-qualified appointments. Or we can help you out with continued marketing support with videos, consumer-facing brochures, custom articles, and special projects with your request from our marketing department. So all ways that we can continue to help market and brand you and distinguish you as the expert in your own backyard, giving you that competitive advantage and continue to do what you do best in front of your prospects and clients alike. Again, this program is good for the first 6 months you are on board with us, and it is a way for us to say thank you and welcome aboard. We also have the IMS Business Builder program. It is a way for you to help increase your capital. We do realize it is very, very expensive to run your practice. We do try to help infuse your business with some capital, whether it's the referral producer program, when you do refer folks to our organization. We do pay you for those referrals as they continue to write business with the numbers below on the screen, or we have the marketing reimbursement. For every $100,000 in index premium, we put $100 into that marketing reimbursement account for you. For every $100,000 in single premium life, you get $200, and every $10,000 in life target, you get $200 in that account. What my advisors do is use that for their marketing budget to offset any marketing for their calendar year, or any website design or other marketing pieces they'd like to create during the calendar year as well. So it's a good way for them to take that money that Insurance Agency Marketing Services is helping to infuse into their practice and offset some expenditures so they don't take any other assets out of their pocket. We do have, I believe, some of the best back office support within the industry. And when I talk about back office support, it's paperless contracting. We have some of the best annuity and life marketing directors here in the industry that will help you out with sales coaching and expertise, quoting, so you can do what you do best, which is stay in front of your prospects and clients alike. So any type of case design, we can help you with that up front. We can get that out to you. Amber Williams and their team, once you've submitted a piece of business, they stay on top of that business until it is paid, and that policy is back in your hands. So like I said, you can do what you do best, which is stay in front of your prospects and your clients and continue to set those appointments. We do offer Firelight. Firelight is our e-application program, which is available out on our website. Once you are licensed with Insurance Agency Marketing Services and approved through the carriers like Nassau, it is available for you to do the electronic application out on our website at www.imsinc.com. This is a very strong platform for you to go out and do the e-application. It does eliminate all errors. It does not allow you to submit it without all boxes being marked in or checked off. So it does eliminate going back to the clients and getting signatures or initials on boxes that you missed on a paper app, which in essence gets you the policy much quicker and gets you paid on that business much quicker as well. I've seen policies on the e-application platform actually be submitted and paid the same day with some carriers on this platform. So it is a very efficient way to get the policy in or the app in and the policy back to you in a very, very timely manner. If you have any questions on this platform, you can certainly reach out to our new business team here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and they'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have on our Firelight system. We do have our creative marketing solutions team. No matter where you are within your practice, they are willing to meet you and help you achieve that next level. Whether you're just getting into the business and need help with letterhead, advertising, you're looking at doing some social media posts, they can meet you there and help you create that logo for your letterhead. Or you've been in the business for 10 or 15 years and is looking to do some green screen advertising for some of the major networks, we can certainly meet you at that level and help you achieve that next level of success. If you have any questions on how we can help you from a creative marketing standpoint, please reach out to any of the annuity or life directors here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We would be able to answer any questions for you on the marketing standpoint and answer any questions on how we're seeing with results with creative marketing, what's working the best for our advisors right now in this ever-changing marketplace. We do have the IMS website. When we're not here during the business hours, one item I'd like to touch on before I get into the website is Steve Murray has made a promise to the field. If it wasn't for you, the advisor out in the field, it wouldn't be for us here in the office, and we do understand and appreciate that. So Steve Murray has made a promise to the field that every phone call will be answered live within 2 rings into our office, and we will be here to support you between the hours of 7:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. Central Standard Time for whatever you need. It is a way to best support your business. We do not have voicemail. You don't have to worry about leaving a message and us getting back to you hours later. We are there live and ready to help you when you do call in. So we do have that 2-ring challenge, guaranteed to answer that phone within 2 rings when you call in to help you when you need it most. When we are not here, we do have the IMS website. This is a tremendous tool for our advisors to be able to go out and take a look at rates online for either annuities or life insurance. One of the strongest tools available out on our website is our sales resource library. It is an opportunity for advisors to go out and take a look at presentation tools. There are questions around tax questions or different tax items out there that you can answer for your clients. I would invite you to take some time and go out and view the sales resource library when you have some time and give us a call if you have any questions. You can spend some time. It's at www.imsinc.com. If you have any questions on getting out to that website, please give us a call. We'd be more than happy to walk through that with you. We did also bring to the table IMS Wealth Management. It is a choice for financial advisors. If you are thinking or considering getting your Series 65, your RIA or your IAR for gathering more assets from your clientele, I would give IMS Wealth Management a call. They can answer any questions for you on that topic. It is an opportunity for you to keep those assets in-house. It deepens your relationships with those clients. You don't run the risk of losing those assets down the street. And it can help you with referrals. So if you are considering getting the Series 65, please give us a call at IMS Wealth Management. You can reach them through our office here at the 800-255-5055 for any questions on possibly attaining that license. We do have one more training class coming up during our fourth quarter. It is our Life and Annuity Academy. This is a tremendous opportunity for advisors to sit down with some of our top producers. When I say our top producers, these are producers that are producing actively over $10 million in annuity and life production annually. We have one more event coming up here in the fourth quarter. Not only are you going to learn from the best of the best, they're prospecting, what they do with their current book of business, what their sales process looks like. You're also going to hear what the best annuity sales topics are in the industry, what they're using as far as wealth transfer tools, what the current best income products are in the industry, what large case marketing looks like right now. And then what those top producers are using as far as turnkey seminar systems to get in front of more prospects on a more regular basis during today's turbulent times. So if you want the opportunity or are thinking about getting the opportunity to come in and listen to those top producers, what we're looking for is advisors that are currently licensed with us, doing about $1 million in annuity production. If you would like to be considered for this 2-day producer training, it is all expense paid by the carrier and insurance agency marketing. We are looking for producers that want to enhance their practice and really grow their practice next year, going into next year. Please give us a call. You can reach us here at the office at the number listed below. And like I said, we have one more event coming up here in the fourth quarter of 2022. If you do follow on Facebook and LinkedIn, there are links below. We do update both these sites, Facebook and LinkedIn, with daily or weekly topics to keep you up to date with industry trends and what's going on within the industry as a whole. So go ahead and join or follow us on those 2 social media sites. We'd love to have you join the family. If you have any questions, you can certainly give us a call or ask to speak to our marketing team. If you're not sure how you do that, they'll be more than happy to walk you through that. If you have any questions on any of the information I covered on the value adds that insurance agency marketing services brings to the table, again, you can reach out to any of the life and annuity marketers. They will be more than happy to customize a plan or customize a marketing plan to help you grow your agency between now and the end of the year, or help you achieve that next level. At this point in time, what I'd like to do is go ahead and turn it over to our guest speaker this morning, Jake Quagliaroli. Again, he's with Nassau. Nassau is a premier partner of insurance agency marketing and has been for some time, I'd say 5 or 6 years. They bring to the table tremendous products on the income and accumulation side. They right now have one of the strongest multi-year guarantees annuities available in the marketplace. That's going to be incredibly important as we get into the third quarter, with October being the second largest CD renewal month of the year. And banks and institutions just cannot keep up with our great rates that we are offering currently. So at this point in time, again, Jake, I do appreciate the partnership. I appreciate the great solutions your company brings to the table, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you at this point.
Awesome, Marcus. Well, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the opportunity to present today, and everybody on the call today. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule to join us. Learn a little bit more, hopefully, of the value add of insurance agency marketing. I really don't see another distribution partner in the industry that offers as much as they do, that brings as much as they do to help you sort of further your practice. But with that said, what I want to do is take the next the next 30 minutes or so and really run through the strength of the Nassau portfolio. As we do that, we're going to highlight different alternative income solutions. And as Marcus mentioned up front, we want to try and keep this a little bit more conversational. I don't want to just sit here for 30 minutes or so and tell you the value as I see the product. We're going to talk about sales strategies that I have with producers that I work with and what they're doing to maximize the benefits of the product. We're going to loop Marcus back in and hear some of the feedback that they're getting and how the Nassau products can really provide those types of solutions. And at the same time, we want to hear from you. So as Marcus mentioned, if there's any questions, any comments that you have as you run through this, please drop it in the chat feature. And if it pertains to the situation where we're at, I'm sure Marcus will throw it out there. If not, we can address it at the end of the presentation. So without further ado, let's get things going. As Marcus mentioned, we are one of the preferred partners, a great sort of back and forth partnership between insurance agency marketing and Nassau. Nassau, an industry leader in the life insurance annuity market space. We have been in the business for 171 years, delivering promises since 1851. One of the biggest questions that I get when we talk about Nassau, and we've been around, the Nassau brand name has been around since 2016, so going on 8 years now. But one of the biggest questions that I get, or one of the pushbacks that I get, is the fact that the Nassau brand name gives us that link to the Bahamas. There's the tie there, and there's producers that sit there and say, look, I'm not comfortable with positioning a product that highlights the Nassau or highlights the Bahamas, if you will. And I want to clear that up and talk a little bit about where the Nassau brand name came from. 2016, our founders, our chief executive officer, chief legal advisor founded Nassau from their days where they came from F&G and Harbinger during that acquisition. Both those gentlemen are from Nassau County, New York. And so as they built out a company, they were looking to build a strong insurance company, be owners inside of an insurance company. They wanted to sort of pay homage to where they came from. And that's where the Nassau brand name came from. We are domiciled, you see, in downtown Hartford, Connecticut. We have operation branches in upstate New York. It's East Greenbush. If you think Albany, you're right on the map, so the capital of New York. U.S. domiciled company, a rich heritage in business. Marcus, let me kick it over to you in terms of any other questions or comments that you get in terms of the Nassau brand name, or when you're making a recommendation, some challenges or concerns an advisor might pose to you.
Well, as far as concerns or challenges that I get, you covered, is it domiciled here in the U.S. or not? The other thing I get is a lot of is these are very similar to the old Phoenix Life company products. Is it the same company? That is number two that I get quite a bit. Can you touch on that real quick?
100% I can. So yeah, as I mentioned, we have, as a company, we've been around since 1851. Along that 170 plus year sort of timeline, one of the things that gets the most positive sort of client recognition, if you will, is the fact that we insured Abraham Lincoln. Yes, that initial history, as I mentioned, Nassau came to be in 2016. Prior to 2016, Nassau did purchase the company from Phoenix Life and Annuity Company. So it is the old Phoenix company. Now, since that acquisition, what the leadership team at Nassau, our entire team, has been doing is putting the company through a major transformation. You'll see that when we take a look at the product portfolio, when we talk about the benefits that the products provide. But more importantly on that front is they put the company through a major transformation from a financial platform. You see on the screen in front of you, as I like to call it, if you see me present in the past, I sort of call it the strength in numbers. We've already talked about that 170 plus year legacy. Over 20 billion in assets under management, over 400,000 policies in force. But to me, the biggest strength in number is 2 and 3 years. And what do I mean by that? Since the acquisition by NASA, or the takeover by NASA of the old Phoenix company, we've received 2 AM Best upgrades in the last 3 years. Show me another company during these challenging, unique times that has had that type of trajectory from a financial backing standpoint, from a rating standpoint. It's a strong indication of the commitment that NASA has made to build us back into an A-rated company. But you're going to see from a product standpoint the strength in the portfolio, and know that as you make a recommendation of a NASA product, you've got that 170 plus year legacy, but you also have a company that's committed to the strength of the financial portfolio. Again, we want you to feel comfortable and confident that when you make a recommendation of a NASA product, those benefits are going to be there when your client's ready to tap into those benefits. What about that? That's from a corporate perspective, but what about benefits for you? As Marcus mentioned, we have a preferred partnership together, that gives you exclusive opportunities inside of the NASA portfolio, access to products that not every distributor out there has access to, access to compensation enhancements. One of them that's going on right now. You see, right now we're having our sort of summer special, if you will. For every FIA submit that you run. Yes, I know the screen says September 2nd, but excited to let you know today we have actually extended this commission bonus. Now, I'm not saying it's extended indefinitely. We're adding another week on top of it. So for any piece of business that you're working on that gets submitted by the end of next Friday, September 9th, you'll receive an additional 50 basis points in compensation for an FIA product. You'll receive an additional 15 basis points in compensation for any multi-year guaranteed annuity contract. We're going to highlight the benefits of the contracts, the differentiators, go through some sales strategies, but what we're trying to do is help. We know it costs more today in terms of client acquisition. It costs more today to market your brand out there. We're trying to squeeze every single penny that we can and put more money into your pocket to help, whether that be to put into the back office of your company or to use personally on other expenses that you have for everyday living. In addition to that, our way of thanking you for working with NASA through insurance agency marketing is to allow all FIA production to continue to count to qualify towards our very popular NASA Elite program. This is a very popular, very attainable agent value add program. For only $1.75 million in FIA premium, you're going to have access to 3 great benefits for your business. First and foremost, compensation bonus. For achieving $1.75 million in FIA sales in a calendar year, we're going to pay you your first year qualifying for the program a 50 basis point bonus retro to $1. Meaning if you qualify with $2 million in FIA production, at the end of the year, NASA is going to pay you a $10,000 commission bonus. If obviously you exceed that $2 million, that bonus is going to be more. For every consecutive year you qualify thereafter, we're going to increase that bonus up to 75 basis points, and we'll pay that on a quarterly basis once you re-qualify. So let's say your second consecutive year you achieve NASA Elite, that 1.75 million current qualification number. You achieve that in May. At the end of June or the end of Q2, NASA is going to pay you a 75 basis point bonus on all your FIA sales for the first 2 quarters. Then each and every quarter thereafter, so end of Q3, end of Q4, we're going to pay you a 75 basis point bonus on all business that issues during that quarter. In addition to that compensation enhancement, you're going to get elite level service. You already have an elite team behind you at Insurance Agency Marketing. You'll also have a dedicated new business as well as post-service case manager assigned directly to you. And what I like to point out to it, I'd love to say that nothing ever breaks at NASA, but from time to time, we're going to have issues on the service side of things. Isn't it nice to know that you have one specific person that you can call up and say, hey, here's what's happening. You can hang up the phone, go start working on things to help prospect or close more sales, and that individual is going to work through that issue and then circle back and let you know when that issue's been taken care of. Last but not least, if you're one of our top 50 producers qualifying for NASA Elite, you and a guest will join 49 other qualifiers on our NASA Elite retreat. For qualifications for 2022, we'll be taking our top 50 producers to the Cove at Atlantis in April of 2023. One of the questions I get in regards to this program, when you compare it to other programs that are out there, is, hey, maybe, I'm a $3-4 million annual producer. From everything that I see, I don't feel that that's going to be enough to get me into the top 50. And I will tell you, our number 50 qualifier back in 2021 achieved roughly 1.9 million in sales. So it's, again, a very attainable, very value agent rich program in terms of the benefits that are provided there. Marcus, do you have any additional insight in terms of the Elite Retreat program, or maybe what do you generally see from other carriers in terms of qualifying for value add programs that are out there?
Value add programs that I've seen out there range anywhere from 2.5 million and up, 4 million, 4.5 million. So you're absolutely right. I mean, this is one of the most attainable agent-rich programs out there to be able to accomplish and get at the 1.75. I mean, an excellent opportunity. And maybe one thing that you want to touch on, if you have a screen, is maybe compensation on the products. Because, I mean, you can earn the extra half point now, and if you're part of the elite program, you get the extra half point. So, I mean, that is tremendous when we're talking about trying to squeeze every penny out of for an advisor. Right now, I know your expenses are going up. I know that, marketing expenses are going up. So, I mean, for the same business you're writing now, how do you maximize those dollars for your practice and your family? This is one of the best ways to help you do that. I mean, in most states, I mean, if you write a fixed index annuity through NASA, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jake, I mean, it's 7% street for the younger ages, correct?
It's going to be 7 to 7.25, depending on right. Our Group A states are 7.25, and Group B is 7%.
Okay, so if I go on the low end, that's 7% on the fixed index annuities, and right now they're giving the extra half point, and if you're part of the elite, you get another half point. So I mean, it's a great way to NASA always tries to help the advisor maximize those dollars, especially when it's tough time. So the other great thing is the value to the client. We'll get into that here in a minute, but the other big question out there in the industry right now, and I know we're all experiencing it with several other carriers, and I'm not going to bring up names, but service issues. When you submit a case, what's the turnaround on service issues? And I know all carriers experience service issues, but some carriers are experiencing longer service issues than others. What is NASA, if somebody submits a case, what's NASA experiencing right now as far as service issues? Are there longer service issues to get those policies issued, or shorter time frames?
Marcus, I wish I could say that we planned this, because that might be the best segue that I've had. I've got one more slide to talk about before we get into these alternative income solutions, looking at the NASA portfolio. And it's really focused on we talked about a transformation since NASA came in 2016. We're going to show you on the product side of things. Financially, hopefully you saw that in the first couple slides. But to me, the other big area we've really made a strong transition or transformation from is operationally. To Marcus's point, it seems like service is a major issue at a large number of carriers today. And no fault to the carriers. We all know the challenges that are out there in terms of getting qualified people to work in an office consistently in the environment that we're in today. I want to start this conversation. We'll take a couple minutes to run through this, but start it by the tool that you see on the screen in front of you, our Suitability Instant Decision Guarantee tool. Think of this as a green light, yellow light tool. What I mean by that is this is a tool that's in front of our e-application, that's out on the Firelight system Marcus mentioned. As part of this tool, you're going to input about 3 to 5 minutes of information that you're going to collect as part of the client fact find, as part of the suitability review. You input that into this instant decision guarantee tool. And currently about 78% of applications that use this tool are receiving a green light, meaning that case has already been approved. You don't have to worry about it getting into Nassau, falling in line, having a suitability rep take a look at it, come back to you, say you need this requirement, that requirement, whatever it may be. You know that case has already been approved. For the 20 to 25% that don't get that automatic green, they're in the yellow light scenario. That doesn't mean that the case is being declined. What it means is there's something there that didn't necessarily line up with the algorithm that we've got in the system. And one of our suitability reps will have to take a look at the case. My suitability decline rate today sits at less than 1.5% per month, meaning for every 100 applications we take in, over 98 of them are moving through the system. Our total turnaround time right now is 18 days. That's cash with app all the way through your transfers. And we all know in the industry, transfers take substantially longer with the paperwork that has to go to the other carrier, fight through the conservation period, get that business over to Nassau. We're at 17, 18 days average turnaround time for our entire block of business. Are we experiencing some service challenges? 100%. But with this tool, with the e-app utilization, which we pay additional compensation on top of what Marcus and I have already discussed, you're going to earn an additional 10 basis points. You've got access to this suitability instant decision guarantee tool, which is going to help move that business through the system quicker. It's going to put more efficiencies back into your business and allow you, again, to focus on the things that allow you to acquire more clients, that allow you to sit down and do annual reviews, submit business, whatever it may be. I think this tool is going to be a game changer in the industry. It's been around for about a year, but we are starting to see as more advisors start using the e-app platform, getting comfortable with this tool and resource. So if you're not familiar with the Nassau platform, here might be a great way to sort of dive in and get a full sort of under the hood look at how we operate from an operational standpoint. But let's transition. Hopefully, really you're here to talk about these alternative income solutions, ways that we can take advantage of the industry-leading differentiators inside the Nassau portfolio. One of the things that really I like the most about our portfolio is the fact that, we don't have 20, 30 different products. We have four different contracts that we write on a consistent basis. And each one of those do something different to the max of their ability. A lot of scenarios we're going to be in today, a consumer is looking for guaranteed lifetime income. They need help navigating the market losses or volatility that's out there right now, and they need help covering a fixed income gap that they might have throughout their retirement days. In that scenario, you're not going to have to look any further than the Nassau Personal Income Annuity, an industry leader in the guaranteed lifetime income space, a product that we're going to look at here in another minute. Maybe you've got a consumer that has an income need, but they're also concerned about long-term care type coverage, legacy protection, life insurance type death benefits, but they don't have the assets or the health to qualify for that type of product. The Nassau Personal Protection Choice is one of the most consumer-friendly combo benefit products in the marketplace today. The other arm that really, when we talk about a four-corner offense to meeting and putting together a successful retirement plan, the other branch there to me is accumulation. You've got clients that are looking for that volatility buffer product, but still not wanting to give up higher upside potential. We can do it two different ways. First and foremost on the guaranteed basis with our multi-year guaranteed portfolio, or we can do it on the FIA side with the Nassau Growth Annuity, a strong accumulation product that has some real good differentiators overall. Let's start with the last sort of bucket that we talked about, accumulation and growth. Marcus mentioned it up front. We have some of the top multi-year guaranteed annuity rates in the industry today. We offer two different MYGA products. Our Nassau Simple Annuity, available on a 4- and 6-year contract duration, or our My Annuity, which is available on either a 5- or 7-year guaranteed period. You'll see with that Simple Annuity, our 4-year product comes with a very strong, I believe tops in the industry, 4.35% guaranteed rate. When you think about product differentiators, that 4.35% rate has a built-in 5% liquidity at no cost to the client. In addition to that, it pays full account value at death. So if the client were to pass away during that 4-year period, the beneficiary is not going to be penalized with a surrender charge to get access to that income. The My Annuity 5-year, very, very strong competitive rate. You can see our top rate sits at currently 4.55%. I know the free withdrawal amount says 0%. I do want you to know that 0% rate, withdrawal rate, does allow for required minimum distributions. So if we're talking about qualified assets, we're able to still attain that higher rate while giving that client the ability to withdraw their RMDs from this bucket of assets. Clients looking for a little bit more liquidity, we can offer that 10% withdrawal rate, which drops the rate slightly down to that 4.35% rate. Much like the simple annuity, yes, you've got different liquidity options, but this product also pays full account value at death. A lot of great opportunities here. Marcus mentioned this might be a great way. We've got some great digital ads, some different ways to market this product, especially as we head into October, which is well known as one of the top CD renewal periods in the marketplace today. Short-term alternative, higher upside opportunity. Take advantage of these great rates.
And one thing I would touch on that, just go back to that screen real quick. Again, we are heading into October. October is the second largest CD renewal month of the year. One website that I share with my advisors and I share with advisors that call in all the time is www.bankrate.com. It's a website that you can go out to and reference local CD rates in your area. So if you ever have any question on what the rates are being paid in your area or your local area from banks or institutions, you can go out to that website, look it up via zip code, and they can let you know exactly what the rate is. And I can guarantee you that the rates being paid in your area are remarkably less than what you see on the screen here. And that's 100% of a rate-driven marketplace. So it's just a matter of the early bird's going to get the worm. Those institutions are already reaching out to clients right now to try to lock them into new rates. So if you're not actively going after those clients right now, you're going to miss the train on that one. So I would say if you want different ways to get after these clients or start prospecting to these clients or your existing client, book a business, give me a call after this webinar, and I can certainly share with you the top 3 or 4 different ways my advisors are actively promoting this business coming up here in October.
Yeah, great point, Marcus. And I'll jump the gun a little bit. One of the other things that I'm seeing right now is sort of a split annuity type concept, or a laddering concept, if you will. Yep. And what do I mean by that? With short-term MYGA rates as strong as they are, a lot of times what we'll see is an advisor will allocate funds inside of an FIA. And right. They'll put 10, 15, 20, 25% of those assets into the fixed bucket. Mm-hmm. Well, what I'm seeing some advisors do right now is, instead of putting them into the fixed bucket of the FIA product, is they're peeling out that 10 to 20%, and they're dropping it into a short-term MYGA, locking in these substantially strong rates on a guaranteed basis, and then taking those remaining assets. So a couple different ways that maybe you can look at leveraging the MYGA. You can use it to go after these CDs that are renewing, but you can also maybe use it as an opportunity to lock in a higher rate on a portion of assets that you were going to put into a fixed bucket inside of an FIA. Let's start looking at some of the income solutions, though, that we're here to talk about. And in order to do that, I want to quickly highlight the product features and differentiators that you have with the Nassau Personal Income Annuity. Flagship product inside our portfolio, one of the top guaranteed lifetime income products in the industry today. High level, you see we issue the product through max issue age of 80, up to $1 million without prior home office approval. One of the great differentiators, though, with this contract is the ability to do joint payouts on both qualified and non-qualified assets. So you can actually take an IRA, you can take a 401k, and yes, we only have one owner on the policy, but we can do a joint payout to make sure that that bucket of assets provides an income stream in a spousal situation for as long as at least one of those individuals is living. Now, once you've uncovered that the goal of a bucket of assets from a client or prospect that you're working with is income, the only question that you have to ask at that point is when. When are you looking to make the transition from the accumulation to the distribution phase? If it's within the first 3 years after issue, that's where you're going to elect our Income Today rider. That Income Today rider is going to give your client an immediate 30% bonus to their benefit base or income account. That client then has the flexibility or the opportunity to activate that lifetime income rider as soon as 30 days after issue. So they can take a bucket of assets and start receiving a guaranteed annual lifetime income stream that they can never outlive within the first 30 days after issue. If that client defers 1 year, at the end of the first contract anniversary or 12th month, we haven't activated that income, we're going to add another 7.5% bonus on top of that 30. And if they defer 2 years or 24 months, we had another 7.5% bonus, giving them a full 45% guaranteed bonus to their income account. Think about the power there, how advisors are positioning that today. Look, Mr. Client, Mr. Prospect, we've been talking about this $100,000 that you had in your 401k. It was in the open markets. With the market correction down 20%, your 100K now sits at $80,000. You've been planning on using this bucket of assets for income in the next couple of years. Well, what we can do is transition to this personal income annuity, give you an immediate 30% bonus to your income account, which would now sit at $104,000 more than what it was prior to this quick market correction. It's peace of mind, it's predictability, all on a guaranteed basis. If your client's income horizon was a little bit longer, so we're thinking 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 years down the road, in those scenarios, we're going to elect our income tomorrow rider. What this rider does is instead of giving your client a big upfront bonus, we're going to grow the client's income account or benefit base at a guaranteed 14% simple per year for up to 10 years or until the client activates the rider, whichever comes first. The other great feedback that I get from this product all the time is the simplicity of the illustration. The great team at IAMS has the ability to put together a one-page illustration showing you a side-by-side comparison of income today versus income tomorrow. You can walk through the numbers with your client so they know exactly what they can expect from an annual income perspective based on how long they're looking to defer, taking advantage of that industry-leading benefit-based bonus or roll-up that's available to you with the personal income annuity. So we've run through quickly the structure of the product. Marcus, let me ask you, you're on the front lines working with advisors, doing a lot more case design than maybe I am. But let me ask you, what are some of the income scenarios that you're working with or you're seeing in today's environment?
In today's environment, what I see primarily, people are trying to maximize their paychecks more than anything else, because if you're looking at people looking at taking income in the early years, I mean, whether they're in their 50s or 60s, you're looking at 3.5%, 4.5%, maybe 5% as far as income stream, right? As far as a lifetime income stream.
Yep.
And in most cases, I mean, that's just maybe not enough for that client. The other pushback I get is, I'm just retiring. I don't know how much I'll need the first 3 to 5 years during my retirement years. I don't want to be, i.e., locked into an income. I want a little flexibility. What would you suggest, or what would my advisor suggest? And so what we look at is personal income annuity. We look at the flexibility, the income tomorrow rider, and then maybe you could touch on this as well. But we look at maybe taking some of the free withdrawal out for 5, 6 years, and then possibly turning on income, because by doing that and customizing that plan a little bit, what we find out is by taking out maybe a little bit more than the 3.5% or 4% or 5% of income, maybe giving them 6% free withdrawal out for those 5 years. And then by turning on the income, they actually get more income for the rest of their life doing that, deferring that out, than if we were to turn it on initially. Does that make sense?
That makes all the sense in the world. And I think I'll go back to your first point. With the environment that we're in, a lot of scenarios where I'm working with today, sounds like you are as well, where income is the need. It's how do we maximize every dollar that we can? How do we squeeze or use the least amount of the assets to get the income number that we need?
Right.
In terms of how to position it, to me, this is one of the other big differentiators that you have with the Nassau product. The ability to leverage the flexibility and customization of this contract to maximize your income need. In order to show that, think about average withdrawal. Marcus mentioned 3.5%, 4.5%. If we think about the old Monte Carlo scenario, the old Monte Carlo scenario, they said if you withdraw 4% of your retirement savings, you'll have enough money to live throughout your life. Well, the environment that we're in today, that 4% withdrawal rate, now individuals are saying, well, there's actually probably about a 70% chance that you won't outlive your assets. So in order to increase that failure rate, what we need to do is actually reduce the amount that we're withdrawing. And we need to drop that down to 2.8%. And as I always like to kid in those situations, you're telling me I've saved this asset. I've taken money out religiously month over month. And you're telling me now, in my time of need, I can't even withdraw 3% of that asset? And even if I do that, there's still roughly a 10% failure. What kind of guarantee is that? Well, for a $100,000 premium on a 68-year-old client, we can guarantee over a 6% return rate. But what I want to show you, sort of what I think Marcus was hinting at, is there a way that we can even squeeze more on a guaranteed basis? And through the flexibility of the product, through that industry-leading 45% bonus, we can actually get even more from an income perspective. We talked about up front the client having the ability to activate that guaranteed lifetime income rider as soon as 30 days after issue. If you recall the way the Today rider works, your client's going to get a 30% bonus up front, and then the next 2 contract anniversaries, as long as they haven't activated the rider, they're going to get an additional 7.5% bonus. We lock in that $6,032 you see up top. That's by activating the rider immediately. So what have we done in that scenario? We've limited that client's upside from a guarantee perspective by not getting those additional 7.5% bonuses. So instead of turning on the rider immediately, what we do is take advantage of the ability to get 10% out penalty-free as soon as 30 days after issue. And in this scenario, we're going to withdraw roughly 6.3% or $6,327. Now, why we do that? Because we haven't activated the rider, your client's going to benefit from those 2 additional 7.5% bonuses. Then at the end of the 24th month, we activate the rider, and you see we have a guaranteed lifetime income of $6,327 that's going to pay for as long as they live. You've given that client almost 5% more in guaranteed lifetime income by taking advantage of the flexibility and the industry-leading benefit bonus you have with this product. We can also, to Marcus's point, do it with the Income Tomorrow rider. So here again, 67-year-old client needing access to income up front. Instead of activating the rider immediately, what we're going to do is use the penalty-free withdrawal, and we're going to take advantage of that industry-leading 14% roll-up. You see the first couple of years where your client withdraws 5% or $5,000. We have a little inflationary bubble. We bump it up to $5,500 and then up to $6,000. Why we've been taking those withdrawals, our benefit base has been growing at 14% simple per year, obviously reduced for the withdrawal that's coming out. But then you can see after that 6-year period, we activate that guaranteed lifetime income, and we have another step up of almost 10%, where now we have a locked-in guaranteed withdrawal of over 6.5%, providing an annual lifetime income of $6,548 all on a guaranteed basis. So a lot of different ways that you can build. We can do a steady income. We can activate it as soon as 30 days after issue. There's no challenges or issues with that. Or we can take advantage of the flexibility and design of the product to maximize that income, whether that be through the Income Today rider or the Income Tomorrow rider by using that 10% penalty free. Talk to us. Let us work through these scenarios to allow you to show ways to really separate yourself from the competition, to maximize that income stream and ensure your client's getting the best benefit, the most money that they can for the for the dollars that they've worked so hard to accumulate throughout their working days. Now let's quickly spend a little bit of time. I want to talk accumulation one last time before we close things up for today. And to do that, we need to talk about the Nassau Growth Annuity, our flagship FIA accumulation product. To me, one of the stronger accumulation products in the marketplace today. You see, we issue this product up through the max issue age of 85, and again, up to $1 million without prior home office approval. When I talk to advisors that are selling this product, when we look at case designs, some of the many reasons why really boil down to 2 key points: flexibility and customization. You can see Nassau Growth Annuity is available on both a 7- and 10-year contract surrender charge schedule. In addition to that, your client has access to 10% as soon as 30 days after issue. Flexibility and customization, both fee and no-fee crediting strategies. And I'm going to argue right now, with the markets down 10, 15, 20%, this is a great opportunity to be looking at a fee-based crediting strategy because we're going to increase that par rate. And if you look over the history of our marketplace, 80% of a market recovery happens within the first 18 months. If we can maximize that client's participation rate by going to a fee-based strategy, we can hopefully maximize their returns inside of a principal protected vehicle. And know that every Nassau growth annuity that we offer has a built-in return of fee feature. What that return of fee feature says is that at the end of contract duration or at death, if we've gone through an extended period of flat to down markets, where that fee chips away at the principal your client put into the policy, Nassau is going to true that up and make sure the client gets no less than the premium they put into the policy. So a lot of great features here to really give you that flexibility to address an accumulation need as well as a potential income need. We have two riders available with this product, our Amplified Income Plus. Amplified Income is a low-cost rider, 25 basis points, which is attached as a benefit base that's going to grow at 150% of index credits. The Amplified Income Plus rider, and again, these are optional riders, a little higher cost at 95 basis points. We're going to continue to attach a benefit base that's going to grow at 150% of index credits, but we're also going to guarantee that it will grow at 3% simple per year for up to 15 years. So great opportunity to have a little guarantee built in on top of that 150% index credits. And then you have the opportunity with each of them, Amplified Income Plus, to have a steady income stream, means once it's turned on, it's locked in for life, or a rising income opportunity, sort of our inflationary hedge, where we're going to continue to grow the client's benefit base at 150% of index credits, allowing that income amount to step up over time. The differentiators that you have with this contract, first and foremost, a streamlined, diversified accumulation story. I talk to many advisors that say they love our diversified approach, knowing that we really focus on two core indices, S&P 500 and a pure Nasdaq-100. I'm not talking vol control. I'm not talking any uniqueness with the Nasdaq. It's the pure Nasdaq-100. We also have our vol control index, Smart Passage Index. It's an index that's comprised of the 200 least volatile stocks inside of the S&P 500. But the real differentiator with our vol control index is that its vol target is 3 to 4 times the industry average. The vol target of the Smart Passage Index is 16.5%. What that means is your client has more access to the index that we're tracking, giving them higher upside potential. So you've got two of the blue chip bellwether indices, S&P 500, Nasdaq-100, as well as vol control, and the ability to get each one of these three indices on a 1-year reset or a 2-year reset. Base par rate, meaning no cap, no spread, no fee, or for a 1% annual fee, we can bump that par rate up with our enhanced par rate strategy. And that brings us to the sizzle point. And I will let you know that tomorrow we'll be having a slight increase on the current rates and the crediting strategies. And what I love about that diversified index approach that we have, if you look across the board, I know a lot of times that, a carrier will highlight one specific rate, one specific cap, one specific whatever it may be, and really push to make it be the best in the industry, to give you sort of that flashy, sort of in the lights crediting rate. But if you look at the portfolio as a whole, the rest of the crediting strategies don't hold water. What you're going to see with our product is we might not have the top cap, or we might not have the top par rate, but when you average everything out across the board, you have competitive crediting rates, some of the best crediting rates in the industry today that are competitive across the board. Par rates, caps, fixed account, which will be jumping up to 3.7%. And that's the sizzle point. You have a streamlined, simplified, diversified accumulation story with a strong focus on the well-known indices, S&P 500, Nasdaq-100, and then our take on vol control with the Smart Passage Index. And take a look at the potential returns that you have. Know that each and every crediting strategy that we offer, we have the ability to put together a customized illustration where we're going to show you the most recent, best, and worst 10-year period. We're going to show you the base par rates as well as the enhanced par rates on both the 1- and 2-year crediting strategies. If you haven't looked at Nassau Growth Annuity, call Marcus, call the insurance agency marketing team. Let us put together an illustration to show you the strength of this product, the upside potential that you have, and again, the great complimentary sale running alongside the NASA multi-year guaranteed annuity portfolio, or
Hey,
the
Jake,
guaranteed income story that you have with PIA. Yeah,
can you
Marcus.
back up a screen just for a second?
Sure can.
Jake had touched earlier on the idea of doing a split annuity concept, and I just want to touch on the growth annuity because I get this quite a bit from people, because the growth annuity does go up to issue ages of 85. So when you're talking 85, you're talking about the older clients with possibly those CDs again. So if you want to look at maybe the multi-year guarantee for maybe 50% of their money, and if they want potentially some higher returns, you can look at the growth annuity. The nice thing about the growth annuity is the growth annuity automatically comes with the 10% free withdrawal. You don't need to add an income rider to the growth annuity. It can be just straight accumulation play. So, I mean, if we want to take a look at this screen here and look at the Smart Passage Index without a fee, the 1 year down there, I mean, the 1 year without a fee, worst case scenario has done historically at 5.53, which is better than your 1 year multi-year guarantee returns. And then the best case scenario has been doing around 8.01. The last 10 years around 7.63. So, I mean, historically, this product has done phenomenally with that 1 year Smart Passage Index. And, you know, it's a great complement to the multi-year guarantee, and gives them the flexibility to take out up to 10% if they need to, uh, with the older ages. Anything you'd like to add into that, Jake?
No, but I love that point, Marcus, and I appreciate you pointing it out. You know, I actually just worked on a pretty large case where the client was looking purely MIGA. And it was an older client, I believe 78. And, you know, again, they wanted to focus on the 4 or 5 year MIGA with where the rates were. But that client also needed access to the income, or they needed potential access to the cash to offset or supplement other income streams that they had. And as we were talking through the case, I let the advisor know. I said, hey, what if we say exactly to your point? I said, what if we peel out, you know, 200,000-300,000? We can drop it into the MIGA. We can lock in that guaranteed rate. But let's take that remaining 200,000 or 300,000 and put it into the FIA. We're actually, if we're looking at the 4-year MIGA, we're actually going to increase their liquidity because we've got that 10% withdrawal rate that's available with this contract.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of it, you've got the higher upside opportunity where, sure, 4.35 is a strong guaranteed rate, but if we're withdrawing 5%, we're actually drawing that account backwards. With the growth annuity, we have the opportunity to replenish those returns and maybe offset it. So maybe then you've also got a legacy component. You've got a death benefit potential with the accumulated value. So we're covering the income need, we're covering the guarantees with the MIGA product, and we've provided adequate additional income through the 10% penalty-free withdrawal plus the growth opportunity. So I love that point. I think it's something that often gets overlooked. You know, we get so focused on, hey, I've got this bucket of assets, I've got to figure out what the best solution is. And a lot of times the best solution is maybe looking at a blend of a couple different products to really maximize liquidity, maximize the ability to offset or accumulate that accumulated value that can pass on as a death benefit while still providing income to that client. So great point, and yeah, thanks for interjecting that.
Yep.
All right, well let's look at wrapping things up here for the day and get going. As I mentioned, we've got the ability. What we're showing here, and I won't take a lot of time, is the ability to illustrate this contract. And this is just to the point that we were talking about. Here we're looking at the growth annuity, and we're looking at liquidity options, alternative income options, a no fee-based income opportunity where you can see we're using that 10% penalty-free withdrawal that's available. And when that client turns 72, we're going to withdraw 6.5%. And you can see, obviously, the income's going to fluctuate. But the other great part is there. Yes, we've done a fixed withdrawal rate of 6.5% here. Maybe what that client needs is a specific income amount. And if the product underperforms in any given year, then guess what? We can just spike up the withdrawal rate to maybe 8-9% to meet that income need. And where it outperforms, we drop that withdrawal rate to 3-4%. So you've got all the customization, all the flexibility in the world to meet that income need through this product and give them that higher upside potential that you've got with the growth annuity. 30 seconds on personal protection choice. I talked about it being sort of the Swiss Army knife of products. a product that's going to provide a competitive lifetime income with our very popular Income Today, Income Tomorrow rider. Once you elect that income time horizon, you have the opportunity to attach our care protection benefit, a benefit that's going to enhance the income your client is receiving by up to 250% if they were to go into a nursing home, by up to 175% if they're not able to fulfill 2 of 6 ADLs and need in-home care. And NASA is going to pay this benefit directly to your client as long as they continue to qualify for up to 5 years, even if the account value is depleted to zero. So a great differentiator, a great peace of mind on a guaranteed basis for that client. We've provided income. We've provided the differentiator with the care protection benefit. Last but not least, you have the family protection rider, a rider that's going to grow your client's premium at a guaranteed 10% simple through 70, 5% simple 71 to 85 for a max of 10 years, or until the client turns age 85, whichever comes first. At time of death, this family protection rider would pay in a 100% lump sum death benefit directly to the beneficiary. So when you think about differentiators, income, the ability to do joint payouts of qualified dollars, care, that's going to pay directly to your client even if the account value is depleted to zero, and a death benefit that pays in a 100% lump sum directly to the beneficiary, which is why I consistently hear this product called the most consumer-friendly multi-benefit, combo benefit product in the marketplace today. And just like personal income annuity, we can put together a one-page illustration so you see exactly on a one-page illustration on a guaranteed basis all the different values your client could expect based on when they activated those riders. And what I love most about this product is the fact that it's more than just a guaranteed product. You have some competitive rates from an accumulation standpoint with that same diversified, simplified accumulation story. S&P, Nasdaq, Smart Passage, also available with the personal protection choice. So to wrap things up, whether it's accumulation that you're looking for, we've got some great opportunities on a guaranteed basis with our multi-year guaranteed annuity portfolio. On an FIA basis, with the strength in the crediting strategies, with the strength and flexibility and customization that you have with the Nassau Growth Annuity. Maybe it's guarantees you're looking for. Personal income annuity, an industry leader with our up to 45% benefit-based bonus or 14% income tomorrow roll-up to maximize every single penny that we can from an income perspective with your client. And last but not least, all FIA production, our way of thanking you for working with Nassau, seeing the value of the Nassau portfolio, and working with us through insurance agency marketing. You're going to continue to qualify for Nassau Elite, a very benefit-rich, very attainable agent value-add program, compensation, service, trip potentials. If you haven't seen this program, take a look at it. It gets a ton of positive feedback. So with that said, I know we've used our time here today, but I believe that we are well positioned these last 4 months of the year to really help navigate clients, put them in the most successful position to ensure the lifestyle they want to live throughout their retirement days. Marcus, thank you again for the opportunity to present today. I appreciate the back and forth, sort of the commentary and the insight. For those of you on the call, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule. I appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give the insurance agency marketing team a call. You see the number on the screen. But Marcus, I'll kick it back to you to wrap things up here for the morning.
I do appreciate that, Jake. I'm going to throw a poll out there. If you want more information on the Nassau information that we covered today, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to follow up with you after the meeting this morning. Jake, I do appreciate the partnership and the conversation this morning. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down there in the box. I'll try to get those covered here before we go. But I do appreciate everyone taking some time out to listen into the webinar this morning. I will be following up with you after the meeting this morning. If you have any cases that have come to mind during the event this morning, please let me know that. I'll be able to put together some quotes for you so you can take a look and see what that looks like. I don't show any questions, so Jake, I do appreciate your time. I appreciate everyone taking some time to listen this morning, and look forward to hearing and seeing you on the next Nassau webinar. Thank you, and have a great day.